before, so this is like the first time like ever. Um, yeah, it's your boy Try, the hardest working man on YouTube, Reg. That
Yes,
ain't rap
sir.
podcast. Tonight we are celebrating is 24 years of the second Souls of Mischief album, No Man's Land, on Jive Records, 1995. Um, I've never talked about High Roll or anything in a long ass time because like a lot of my homeboys they know of them but it wasn't really bumping and stuff like that. And I always like looked at the High Roll crew and all the artists on affiliated with them as like they were like the West Coast boot camp to me. Like we had Buckshot and Smith and Wesson and Helter Skelter and OGC over here, and over there they had Souls of Mischief and Dell, Casual, Pep Love. At one point it was Extra Prolific. So I've always been like a fan of theirs, like way back from like Mr. Dabalina, and the No Need Bell, and then when Souls came out with 93 to Infinity and Casual with the Fear Itself album, and then when the High Road crew came out with their albums and all that. Always been a fan of theirs, and um I just feel like they've always like went under the radar and they've been underappreciated. And for me it was like that was my growing up, like West Coast hip hop to me was very different from everybody else. Like I didn't grow up on gangster rap. You know what I'm saying? Like as being a single being the only child and growing up in a single parent home, it was like that, like I wasn't allowed to listen to NWA. So like I didn't like gangster rap for me came later. That came like when Death Certificate came out and the Chronic. Like
Right.
West Coast hip hop for me was always like the what we used to call the backpackers. Like the underground MCs. The Far Side and Dilated Peoples, Liquid Crew, Hyro. Ras Cash. So that was my Digital Underground. That was my hip hop, West Coast hip hop growing up. And then like when I was like in high school, then later came like the Predator and the Chronic and all that. Then I became a fan of, I was heavy into Death Row when they were dropping their stuff and Warren G and all them, Coolio. But that was like my version of West Coast hip hop because I've always been like gravitated to the spitters and the lyricists, no matter what coast it was from. So that was like I've always gravitated to High Road because I felt like everybody in that crew was like lyrically gifted. You know what I'm saying? And they just reminded me so much of boot camp. So I feel like they've always been underappreciated and went under the radar when it came to like releases and even like over here like New York, we showed them love because it was like we fuck with them and we knew what they were about because they had like that West Coast boom bap sound as well. You know what I'm saying? And they were just different from anything else that was coming out of the Bay at that time. It wasn't like Too Short or E40 or anybody else. So we always like showed them love over here. But I remember like going to Manhattan and seeing like the Hyro stickers being posted up on like the lamp posts and the mailboxes and the phone booths and all that. That's like a very iconic, logo in hip hop, just like Wu-Tang Clan logo and Public Enemy. So I've always been a fan of theirs, and I just felt like they've they've been in the game for so long, and they're still like underappreciated for whatever reason. And I definitely wanted to talk about this album because I feel like after 93 to Infinity, that's like the classic album. Everybody knows that. It did commercially well for them. They have like the documentary about it. I saw that a couple months ago actually on Amazon Prime. They
Hmm.
had it on there. So, but after that, it's like nobody really talks about their releases. They don't talk about the second album or the third album, Focus, or the trilogy album. So being that it's the anniversary, I wanted to talk about this second album because I've always loved it, and I think like 93 to Infinity and this album are like my two favorite Souls of Mischief albums. So that was why I was like, yo, I gotta talk about some Hyrule on here, man. Because they heavily slept on. How did you get into like Souls of Mischief in the beginning, or like anything related to Hyrule?
Well, to be honest with you, this might sound kind of shocking. But when I was little, I knew of Del the Funky Homo Sapien. I knew of Souls of Mischief, but
Right,
I didn't really know about the hieroglyphics until like much later. And I knew that they were all part of the whole collective.
right,
And to be quite honest, I'm only a fan of like Dell's stuff and like some of Souls of Mischief stuff. Cause I'm not like the biggest hieroglyphics fan. Like as much as I loved like the Far Side
yeah,
and Mad Lib, some of Mad Lib's shit in the '90s and stuff like that. I
mm,
respect them. Don't get me wrong,
right,
but like I just never really grasped me like that. Like I've heard Sophia's boxcar sessions in the past,
right,
but I have to hear it again because it's been. I can't even give you like a judgment on that album, but I've heard like many good things about it. And
mm,
Sophia can spit though. Don't get me wrong, he can
oh
spit.
yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah. Also, but the one song that always resonated with me when it comes to Souls of Mischief, like everybody gets 93 till infinity.
right,
I just feel like that's a fucking beautiful song right there and shit like that. It's a timeless song.
definitely,
Definitely a timeless song and shit like that. Because I will put that in the same vein as like They Reminisce Over You,
hmm,
just for like the timelessness of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I've heard the 93 Till Infinity album. I felt like it was a dope album and shit.
right,
Very dope album. Um, but I never liked the term backpackers. I never liked the term backpackers and shit, because the fact
right,
that
right, right,
it's just kind of like when people in hip hop community say the word backpackers at times, there's like a negative aura around that
mm,
word and shit. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't
yeah,
until like
yeah,
the only time like people really accept backpackers if they're talking about Kanye, Kid Cudi, but that's another story for a different day. And I just felt like
right,
groups like the Far Side and Souls of Mischief, like yeah, they weren't talking about some of the hardship of gangster rap, but they weren't no pussies either in their fucking music and shit.
right.
Like
Oh no,
fucking the Far Side, like for better or for worse, off the Bizarre Rise of the
mm,
Far Side, like Fat Lip was saying some real fucked up shit, like putting your fist in your
right,
pussy. But I don't want to talk about the Far Side. I want to stick it to the hieroglyphics and shit.
right,
Yeah, man, it's like I definitely need to like really look into more of the hieroglyphics and shit like that. Just from your
yeah,
judgment, I might need to check out some Casual, some Sophia and
right,
stuff. And it's kind of funny too because around the time they were working on this album, they were having some issues with Jive Records around this time too.
right,
Because Jive was trying to like rebrand. It was around the time when Jive was trying to get rid of the hip hop around that time. Besides Too Short, 'cause I think Too
right,
Short at that time, he was one of the biggest rappers off that label. But around that time,
right,
Jive started investing in, like teen pop, like the boy bands, and of course, we know that Will Smith, Big Willie style came out from that album too. So stay
yeah,
tuned tomorrow, y'all.
oh
But
yeah,
oh yeah. But yeah, so Souls of Mischief, Jive Records was trying to make Souls of Mischief into like a boy band. And they weren't trying to
right.
have that shit. So that's why in this album it's like a lot more darker than the first album, a lot more in your face, which we're gonna talk about that in a minute though, because I have a
And
lot to say.
and I remember that there's a part in the documentary for 93 Till Infinity where they mentioned like doing the second album and that they had problems with Jive and Jive wanted it to be more commercial and they wasn't having that.
Yep,
And that's why it sounds like the music sounds darker on this album, you
for
know.
real.
But I mean I never looked at them like they was so see, these for me like it was like the gangster rap at that time like first of all like during when NWA came out it's like there was no kids out that could buy that album without parental supervision. So even if I wanted to buy any NWA album at that time, my mom was not gonna buy it because she didn't want me to listen to them anyway. So she wasn't gonna pick it up for me. You know what I'm saying? And then I never had no brothers and sisters I was gonna like buy it for me. So even if I wanted to listen to NWA at that time, I couldn't. And there was no internet at that time. So it was like I've I know about all those artists like Selly Cell, Macklemore. I've like seen their albums in the record stores so many times. Never cared to listen to them because I was always gravitated to like, the I don't not backpacking, but like the other sound of hip hop. Like the I was always attracted to lyrics and the beats for me. So I was never into like the gangster rap and all that. That was just not my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like even now is like I there's certain artists that you know that's labeled gangster rap that I fuck with. I got like anything from Cube I could fuck with, or or like Mac 10 or whatever. But like South Central Cartel and those type of Bo and those type of artists. I just not. I was never interested in them like that. You know what I'm saying? So it was like that's why I said like my West Coast hip hop was different. Like Freestyle Fellowship, AC Alone, The Far Side. Those are what like the artists that I gravitated to more. Even Yo Yo, even though, but I never looked at Yo Yo like she was gangster rap. You know what I'm saying? She was like I always looked at her like she was like the female version of Cube, but Cube was more rawer than her. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
that was like coming up. That was like the West Coast stuff I was bumping before my teens, and then when I was a teenager, Chronica just came out and know, Doggy Style after that. So that's when I was like heavy into the G Funk and the Death Row stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I never got caught up in that whole East Coast West Coast crap because I just felt like that was like a media driven thing to sell records. But that like Hyro was like natural artist that I was gravitated to because of the beats and the lyrics. So I never looked at them like they were soft. They just wasn't on that gangster shit like everybody else was out there in the Bay, you know.
I feel you. Most
But
definitely.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? But it was like we definitely fuck with them heavy over here because they at least they reminded me so much of boot camp. They were like the West Coast boot camp, you know what I'm saying? And they had their own in-house producers as well, just like boot camp. So you know what I mean? But I definitely felt like they were heavily slept on for whatever reason, you know what I'm saying? And I've never like discussed anything Pyro related with anybody. I mean, it's hard to find, like, especially like growing up at that time, there wasn't too many people that my age that was really fucking with Pyro. Like everybody was about a bad boy and you know and Biggie and Jay, but you have to be like a real underground head to really fuck like knew who Pyro was over here. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
but
And mind,
there's always been some point. Huh?
oh no, I didn't mean to cut you off and shit. And like, mind you, like since Hieroglyphics was like a West Coast alternative rap group and shit like
Right,
that, they weren't really getting as much like play like that in New York too,
right,
because a lot of people in New York, from what I've read about West Coast alternate hip hop, they was start saying like how certain acts they was felt like they were ridiculing their style and shit like that. But hip
right,
hop is universal and shit. Just because you're from the West Coast or from California, you're not really obligated to do gangster rap and shit.
right.
Like Too
That's
Short,
that's how I've always seen it. Like it shouldn't matter where you from. Like if you dope to me, you dope. I don't care about East or South and all that. You know what I'm saying?
right? Like
You
I
know,
wouldn't even call Too Short a gangster rapper, to be real.
right,
He's more like he more on that pimp shit.
right. Yeah, like Too Short. He didn't really bump over here on the radio to like I want to say like 94, 95. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, like when he had came out with that Fat Gold Chains joint with Eric, that's when the radio stations here were bumping him, like from Master Flex and DJ Scribble and Red Alert. Before then, they wasn't bumping no Too Short over here. You know what I'm saying? So it was like certain West Coast artists wasn't like no matter what part of Cali they from, they wasn't getting the radio play over here. So, but we knew about them like just from like going to the record stores and seeing the albums in on the shelves or reading about them in the Source and Vibe magazine. But just some of them like I've never really cared to check out like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to catch my ears. Like if I don't hear nothing that I like, I'm not really gonna fuck with you because everybody else do. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know. But I mean, I'm aware of all of them, like E40 and Too Short and all of them cats, man. So those are legends in the game. They still doing it in this day and age. So you know, but that just wasn't like my type of West Coast hip hop growing up. It was just a little bit different from everybody else's when you think like West Coast hip hop,
Yeah,
you know?
I definitely feel you on that and shit like that.
Right. You know what I
Definitely.
mean? But
And
this huh?
oh, I was just gonna say one more thing, just one
Yeah,
more thing I want to say. And like I feel like even in this day and age, West Coast alternative hip hop is much more loved because
yeah,
you have like a lot of West Coast acts like the R Future Click, then you
right,
have the Black Hippie, had back
right,
kicking movement and shit like that. Like they're not always on a gangster shit. They have their own style and shit. They're more accepted today,
right.
basically.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember when 93 till Infinity dropped, like that was huge over here. Like they played that video every single day. They played different joints from that album every day. Like that was a big album, And then it's like after that album, when it's like when it, I remember when Stretch and Bobbito, there was the time that they played that Hyro battle with the Hobo Junction
Mm-hmm.
from the Wake Up Show.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy. Like I taped that shit that same night. I taped it on a blank cassette and I played that shit for like hours. Yo. I'm like, I remember that. And to me, I felt like I think Sophia won the battle because I just felt like people were saying like it was like he had like written raps and it wasn't really freestyles. But I think like from the high road side, I think Casual and Pep Love did they thing. For whatever reason, Dell wasn't there and I didn't the only member from Souls of Mischief I don't remember hearing Opio in that battle in A+. It was I heard Festo and Tajai. I heard a lot of Tajai. But I think Sophia definitely held his own against them. And that was like a legendary battle and I wish we still had battles like that. Like I would love to see like crews go at it, like TDE against Griselda or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that, and then it was like after that, it was like that's all everybody kept talking about. And then like they got when they came out with the second album, like it was more of a darker tone compared to the first one. First one was lighter and it was real melodic, and then this album was more darker for some reason, and people were saying it's because of like the battle they had with the Hobo Junction, and they had something to prove with this album. I just thought it was a dope ass album. Like I wasn't even thinking about the album being dark or whatever.
Yeah. I never really heard this album until recently and stuff like. Cause I
Right,
thought they were probably going to have like a lot more melodic. I don't know. I thought it was going to be like a lot more melodic, but the sound on this album
right,
kinda took me off guard and shit. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
And I got a story about this album. I'm kind of not directly connected to Souls, but it's kind of like indirectly connected to the group because my I never had a relationship with my pops before, and
Right.
I never knew him, and I had met him. First time I met him, I remember telling the story before. First time I met him was in 1994, and it was I believe it was Black Friday of that Thanksgiving weekend, like day after Thanksgiving. That all happened by chance. That wasn't planned. That just happened. I was close with my grandmother on his side of the family, and she set that whole thing up because she wanted us to finally meet. And he was here. He traveled around a lot. He moved around a lot. He was here in New York for that weekend, and we just happened to link up that day. And that was the same week that I had gotten There's a Dark Side because he bought that for me. And I remember going to Coconuts, getting that album. We went to dinner. We had like buffalo wings. I still remember what I had from so many years ago. Had buffalo wings and we went to I think it was Foot Locker, and he
Mm-hmm.
bought some Adidas hikers for me. It was real cold that weekend, and he used to move around a lot. He used to work for the Pentagon in D.C. and then he moved to Hawaii. Then he ended up moving to Alameda, California. So he was out there in Oakland or whatever, and he would buy when we were like starting like a line of communication. He would like this is like real old school. Like he like back when people used to write letters. So he would write letters to me and I do the same. And we did that for like a couple of months. And he would he had moved out to Alameda. He was working at California Berkeley, the college on campus.
Right.
He was working security there. And Festo from Souls of Mischief, Festo used to go to California Berkeley. And he knew Festo, like he knew who he was and that he was in a rap group. And when this album was coming out, he had um he had bought the album for me and he sent it along with the Far Side album, Lab Cabin California and Coolio Gangsta's Paradise and I had Bone Thugs E99 on cassette. So he had went to Rasputin back then and he bought those and sent it. But I had read I don't know if it was the Source or Vibe. It was some magazine I had read where I read that Festo was attending California Berkeley at the time when they were doing this album. So he wasn't like on all the tracks or whatever.
Right.
And I remember telling him on the phone that Festo from Souls of Mischief was attending the same college he was security at, and that could he possibly get an autograph or whatever. So he was like, I'll try because he knew who he was, like he knew of him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And but he never like met up with him to get that autograph for. Cause I wanted Festo to autograph the album, for me, but he never met up with him or whatever. But that was like my little um connection to Souls of Mischief. You know what I'm saying? Because he was like living out there for like a couple of years, and Festo was attending California Berkeley. And then he would send me like the California Berkeley like t-shirts and the sweatshirts and all that. Because I was heavily into like college basketball back then, so like I would watch like their basketball games on Fox Sports and all that. So that was like my little. I never really told nobody. I don't think I told anybody that about that, but 'cause I never talked about Souls of Mischief or anything horror related. So this is like the first time. But that was like my little connection with the group or whatever. But
That's wild.
when I remember like they made a big thing about the freestyle battle and it was like a legendary battle and that's never happened before on radio and it was great and even before like earlier tonight I was listening to it again. I was like, yo, like Sophia was killing them niggas, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care if it was written or not. Like he was getting at them. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, and I think like from the high like I think I remember like listening to that the first time. I'm like, yo, how come where's Dell at? Because Dell is Hyro. Like he started that. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that's like the creator of Hyro. So he got to be involved in that battle, and he wasn't around for that. I don't remember hearing A Plus Olive or Opio, and I was like, where's everybody at? Like Pep Love did his thing when he got on the mic, and Casual was doing his thing. But I felt like it was just Casual and Pep Love on an island by themselves against the Hobo Junction. I'm like, where's the rest of the members? You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
that was a legendary battle. Like I don't think we'll ever have a hip hop battle like that ever. You know, but this album, like when I got this album, I instantly liked it. I just felt like the beats was banging and it was darker, but I just thought it was a dope ass album and nobody talked about it. I'm like, I don't understand that. Like these guys are just known for one album, but what about the rest of their discography? You
Yeah,
know?
man. Yeah, man.
But
That's what
huh?
I said. That's why we here to give respect to it.
Yes, definitely. The album got, it's 16 tracks, you know. The intro, so you want to be that's the intro and it has a dope banging beat and the pianos on it. Like you got like the cuts by DJ Apollo, and then they're telling you like in the intro, like, so you want to be a rapper great, make sure your shit is straight before we decide your fate. Love that shit. And they telling you like, listen up, fool, don't steal, because that was like biting was a no-no. It's still a no-no in hip-hop. Like, don't bite nobody's style or rhymes and shit. That's like rule number one when you an MC in this game, is like, be original and be yourself.
Right.
So I like that intro and the way that it starts off, and that beat that they used for the intro, that could have been like used for like a regular song. That's how dope it was. You know what I'm saying? Opio produced the beat as well. I think he's always been like a dope in-house producer for Hyro as well as a lyricist too.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets slept on. Even like when he went solo, like his solo stuff gets slept on as well. I definitely want to talk about that in the future. You know what I mean? But I think that was a dope intro.
Yeah, man. Nothing bad to say about the intro as well. You just sets the whole tone for the album stuff and shit.
Right,
I just felt like they were just giving motherfuckers like lessons on how to be a dope MC and shit like that.
right.
Yeah, very in your face. Love this shit right here.
And it also got like the little the sample. They have like they use the little sample from the Arena the Tech from the Beatnuts
Oh
when
wow.
the DJ scratches, and that's a I love that Beatnuts song as well. That was dope. Um, then we get to track two, the title track, No Man's Land, and I love the horns on that shit when you hear it, and the bass line, and it's just like it sounds like a real dark like track, and but it's real jazzy at the same time, but it has like a real darker tone to it. DJ Toure produced it, and it got like the DJ scratches by DJ Apollo, and you hear Pep Love talking his little shit on the song when it first drops, and I love A Plus's verse where he says hold up, I want to explain I want to explain what he said. Hold up, I want to explain you whack as shit. You lack the gift. I want to smack you, kid. It's just the fact you did an unforgettable crime. Wanted to rhyme against the smooth master. I move faster. My crew blast you. Fire.
Ooh.
A plus definitely. Like I said, like all four of them were like gifted lyrically, and like my favorite in the group would be Opio, and then A plus. But Tajai brings that energy to the group. Like he always brought that real hype, that hypeness to the group. Where when you hear him, and Festo, he's like um real philosophical with his rhymes, and real deep. And I always love all members of Souls of Mischief. So I definitely feel like A plus, like for his verse, like he killed it on this joint.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with you about A Plus's verse on this song. I definitely felt like it was some braggadocio in your face shit. Like when I first heard this song, it just caught me off guard just by the cursing and shit like that, and
Yeah,
just them like the steez of this whole fucking song. And I knew like, yeah, they ain't not on no 93 till infinity shit no more on some
yo,
real shit.
they were more focused on bars and getting at people on this album, like because of that whole battle. They were like real like their lyrics were really on sharp and on point on this album.
Oh wow.
You know, track three, we got Rock Like That. That was the first single. The first two songs I heard before this album dropped was Rock Like That, and I heard For Show For Real. But like back in the day, like when the DJ played like a new record and you didn't know the title of it, like what I used to do was when I used to like record from the radio, like college radio or like the or like Hot 97, I
Yeah.
would I would like you remember like when you had like the Memorex or the TDK tapes, and they had like in the case they had like the blank part where you could write the tracks on, like on side A and side B.
Yeah, I know what
So
you mean.
what I used to do was, if I didn't know, see, we didn't have the internet back then. So what I used to do was, if I heard like a new song, I would like make like my own like short title for that song, and write it on the tape until the album came out. So when I heard For Show For Real, they kept saying it in the chorus, "We gonna shock the world." So I thought the name of the song was called "Shock the World." So I wrote "Shock the World" next to I wrote Souls of Mischief, and then I wrote "Shock the World," thinking that was the name of the song, but it wasn't. It was For Show For Real. But those two songs were like the first two songs that the radio were playing before the album dropped. So when I first heard this, I'm like, yo, this is tight. And then I saw the video, and the video was cool. Opio had cut his dreads off at that time, and the track is just a real boom bap track, and I like the horns on it, and the bass line. I like the chorus. When they say like, when he touched the mic, he be the first light. He wanted all, y'all. He wanted all. That's right. The inventiveness that you can't resist. We gonna rock it like that and rock it like that. Love that chorus. It has
Oof.
like a old school type of vibe to it.
Right.
Um, I that was definitely dope. Opio, I like his verse when he starts off the track and he says, "First of all, for your pussies, don't take it personal. SOM is versatile. That is irreversible. I never submerge in the style. I break off now while you were still trapped in trial and ever. Catch a block like a cold, sounding like the next nigga on the microphone. We ain't stole no lyrics. Control yourself. You're hysteric. Prepare to spit, so don't experiment. Fire, fire shit, man. Like Opio. That's why he's my favorite. Like he's always like visual, like but he just like knows how to bend words and just make it sound dope in his bars. Like definitely kill that joint.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you about that. Like, I love the song and I love the fucking video and shit.
Yeah,
Um, Video, I like it, the way the video was directed. It has like a very lo-fi feel to it and shit like that.
right.
The beat on the song was very dope too. Who produced this beat? Opio produced this beat and
Opio.
shit.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I definitely, and also who had the best verse? I want to say fucking T- Taj had the best verse and shit. No, yeah,
Tajai. Yeah,
Taji had the best verse and
yeah,
shit.
definitely.
Especially when he says, got sisters damn near white to blackest night, crowding up the jock cause of how a brother rock it like that. My raps is mad as a fact. Like, I just like the shit he was saying on that song. They all went in on this fucking song. Like, they just sounded hungrier, they sounded angry and shit. Very dope track. Love this shit.
Oh yeah, definitely. um, yeah, that was a dope joint, dope first single. Um, now track four, we get the Secret Service. It's basically just Tajai and A Plus on this joint. Dope beat by A Plus. It's like you hear like some like they're talking in the background. It's sort of like almost like they going to war, like in the military, and you hear Tajay talking about like yo Popo with some Zarks, and I got my rocket launcher ready and my Glock, and they were like ready for war. I think they meant like they were like ready for war lyrically with anybody, and it's just a dope beat, and I like it's like a real dirty track. I like the bass line and the little explosions and the gun effects in the background. And I like A Plus verse where he says, "I clean my weapon 4 times a day. And with the double edge, yes, the world is mine to slay. I sip wine with Jay Hoover. I can make a murder victim. Say some nigga don't serve. I lick them. Fire joint. I like the chorus as well where they got the FBI, CIA, ATF, big guns for pay. Yeah, plus the armed forces, man. Them fools don't play. And the coppers that we see every day. Love that joint. Nice little joint between A Plus and Tajay. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, man. I was very taken aback by just how dark this shit was and stuff
Right.
like that. Like the beat alone by A Plus is very dope. They stepped their production game and their
Yeah.
pen game a lot with this album, and I fucking love it and shit like that. Other than that, very dope track. Secret Service, very dope, solid track. I definitely feel like A Plus had the best verse and shit.
Yeah. Dope. Then we get to track five with Fresh Dope, produced by J Biz. Dope banging beat, real melodic, real it has like a real dark melody. A Plus starts it off. I like his verse where he says, "I started writing rhymes in 1982. I was 8. My older brother used to let me hear his Too Short tapes. Sugar Hill and and Spoonie G was with me. About anything I could get was nonstop in my cassette." Then he says later, "How dare you defy me? You time me, writing your finest raps in 1990. You're blindly behind me." Definitely ill. Some of the illest verses from him on this album. Um, I like the fact that he mentioned Too Short in his verse because Too Short is from the Bay. Everybody knows Too Short is a legend, and I thought that was dope to like give him a shout in his verse as well. And yeah, just a solid cut. You know what I'm saying? It's not like one of my favorites, but I like the beat though. I think it was like real melodic and dark.
Right, right. Um, I definitely felt like this was a very solid song as well. I don't like it as much as like the previous
Right,
two,
right.
but yeah, I definitely felt it was some solid shit. The beat was very dark and grimy and shit like that. No bad things to say.
Yeah, man. Then we get to track six, "Where the Fuck You At." This definitely one of my favorites on the album. Like immediately when I heard like when it comes on, and I'm listening, and then I when they start to rhyme, when I think who was it that started? I think it was Opio that started it off. And when you hear them rhyme, you hear like that melody, ding 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 ding. I love that shit. But I was like, yo, well, how come the melody it switches up when it goes to the chorus when you hear like the DJ scratching on it, but when they're rhyming, that's when the melody kicks in. I just thought it like they could have had that melody for like the whole song and shit. But definitely, I like the chorus where it's like, yo, you want to be fresh. You never, hold on. Which one am I doing here? Where the fuck you at? Yeah, yeah. So this was produced by Casual and DJ Toure, and the DJ scratches by DJ Apollo. And I just thought it was like I said, like I like the melody, and it like for each verse on there, it's like the like it seemed like they have like individual stories. You know what I'm saying? Like because
Yeah.
like Tajai verse is more about like it sound like he's hooking up with a chick, and then Opio verse same thing with him. But when you get to A+ verses, like he's talking about like a big Willie cat that was like he ended up going to jail or whatever.
Yeah, that part confused
And,
me.
huh?
I'm gonna say my thoughts about that, but
Right.
yeah,
And then you know what I'm saying? So it was like it's like they all had like their own individual story. You know what I'm saying? Like within
yeah.
the song or whatever. But I just think like the melody could have been the same for the chorus, but it was just like that dope ass melody you hear when they were only when they were rhyming or whatever. But I picked Tajay's verse on this. I like his verse when he was like, I wish I had a bitch that practiced gymnastics. And when I hit it from the back, this girl would twirl and twist them fat lips. And Nathan
Ooh.
Johnson vibrate like a tonsil, plus on the tonsils. Honey Boom be on the job, and if I try to hang, she be like a bat out of Hades. I just you said fuck around and get with her, make her my lady. I just thought I was like a dope verse that he had, and like the way that he wrote that beat, his flow with the beat was dope. And 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 then like I said, like A+ was rhyming about like some like big Willie cat, and he was like in the verse he's talking about how like the dude was like ducking taxes, and when he went to federal prison he was like getting raped or some shit like that.
Oh wow.
So it was just like oh I was like they don't it like there's not really like a topic for this song, but I love the way that they each had their own like little story, and I love the melody of the beat. I just thought it was a dope beat. Shit, definitely one of my favorites on the album.
Um, definitely well said. Well, very well said and shit. Yeah, this song right here, I like the song.
Yeah,
It's not a bad song, but I just felt like it was kind of inconsistent. The fact that A+ was talking about like something different and
right,
shit like that, and then when it's track number 6, where the fuck you at? I just felt like it was just like all the niggas that was talking about chicks and girl problems,
right,
and this nigga came out with this shit. I don't know. It just caught me off guard and shit.
right,
Like I don't know, but at the same time, it's not a bad song. I just felt
right,
like that verse was not needed and shit, in my opinion.
right. Like I think I don't know like being that Opio and Tajay's verse was like about and Festo's verse was about chicks. I'm like maybe it could have been like more of like a song for chicks instead of like having like four different individual stories. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because like the only verse that really didn't fit with this song was A+'s verse. So I'm like, well, how come the other three got they talking about chicks, but A+ verse is like totally out of it's in a different direction. So I mean, if anything, it could have been like a one of them like dope joints for the ladies, but they didn't do it like that. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
and it was and like it had like a dark tone to it as well. But I like the melody, but it was like a dark melody for that song. I'm like, well, this is not really a song for chicks because even though they're talking about like a rendezvous with a chick or whatever, but it's a dark, it has a dark tone to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So I'm like, well, it can't be a song for chicks, but I just that's like one of my favorites on it. I just like the beat and the melody, the way that they flowed on that joint. Um, track 7, we got 94 via satellite with Della Funk and Sapien, legendary artist. It has like I like the beat and the bass line and the scratches by uh DJ Apollo. And I think Dell killed it. I definitely feel like his verse where he says the pearl of persistence to keep your interest, keep evildoers outside with fences. Of course, there are more to throw to the sharks and modify the marks. Of perhaps I use a pair of some use a pair of with Rosa Parks on the front of the bus. I don't discuss coming less than us. Dirty devils never question us. I liked his verse on there. Real dope joint. Not really a standout track for me on here, but it was dope there. Like Dell collaborate with the group on this album.
Facts, facts, facts. Yeah, man. I definitely loved anytime like their chemistry gets together on these kind of songs and shit like that.
Right,
Yeah, I definitely gotta agree with you. Dell definitely did his thing on this one. I see this song more like a continuation of 93 till Infinity. I don't know if it's just me,
right.
because even the title alone kind of similar, like
Oh
94.
yeah, yeah, right. True.
So I kind of felt that that was what they were trying to do with that shit, but I
Right.
had no problems with this track.
And yeah, and Dell produces as well. Forgot to say that. And like like you hear like the background crowd in the back. That's the background crowd is the in-house producer Domino and J Biz and Pep Love, Casual, and Snoop. For people that don't know Snoop, there's another Snoop, not Snoop Dogg we talking about. The Snoop that we talking about is from this group, Extra Prolific, 1994. They had a big hit called Brown Sugar. They used to be on High Road, but I think they only dropped one album and then they left High Road, whatever. But Snoop, the leader of Extra Prolific, he was also a producer as well. Like he produced on this album for them, and he produced on this album. So that's the Snoop we talking about, not Snoop Dogg. But
Or Little Snoop.
track 8, huh?
Or Lil Snoop.
Or Little right. You know what I'm saying? It's a
All right.
difference. And he writes his name. His name is actually I think his name is actually Dwayne Snoop or whatever. But the way he writes Snoop is Snupe. So it's not like Snoop Dogg or Snoop Doggy Dogg, whatever. So um, track 8 is Do You Want It? I thought I was produced by Aplus and Tajai. Dope track. It has like a pimpish beat. That to me should have been a single, like because like they didn't Jive didn't promote this album a lot, and they only dropped like maybe one. I think they dropped Rocket Like That. That was like the only single, but I think there's like 2 or 3 other songs that it could have been singles off. I think this one should have been a single because it has like a real radio friendly type of beat to it. I like Opio's verse where he says, "Check it out." Now you all know me, Opio, Lindsay, champion MC, internationally. Niggas be challenging D. Hieroglyphic Imperium, we steering them heat. And I thought it was like a real dope joint. Another one of my favorites on here. You got like the women on you got like on the chicks on the chorus with them and shit. It's a real playful joint. Like I said, I thought it could have been like a second or third single off of here. But
Mhm.
I thought it was dope.
Yeah. I feel like this song was pretty dope too and shit. Do you want it? I definitely agree with you. Like it should have definitely been a single and shit.
Yeah,
Cause it just has like a very feel good kind of vibe. It's like vintage Souls of Mischief. That's the
right,
best way to put it
right,
and stuff like that. But yeah, man, Jive Records, they wanted them to be on some NSYNC or Backstreet Boys kind of shit,
right.
but that's another story for a different day. I felt Opio definitely had his best verse when he said, "So baby girl with the light brown eyes, let me speak to you a minute and examine them thighs and
Yeah,
get wise to the fact that I'm hip to that act. Don't try to play that role. Let's get real and hit the sack, like
all right.
for real."
Yep. Track 9, we got a skit. I like the beat. You have A plus and Festo talking about it's about that time again. We gotta come back part of this time, and A plus is saying like niggas ain't rich. Niggas still in the hood, niggas still broke. And he said like even if he's rich, I'll still be with the same peoples that I was with from day one, and not nothing really here. Was I like the beat. I thought I thought the beat could have been used for like an actual track, just like the intro. But it's not really nothing really to talk about with this skit.
Right.
Track 10 we get the bump shit. That's a banging joint. Definitely, the title goes with the beat. Definitely a bumping track produced by J Biz. Um, I like Festo's verse where he says, I stare him in the eyes before I wear them. Um, no comparison to the immaculate. You get ramshackle with the mic, lance with the javelin for rattling off at the lip, or you get liquefied, stigmatized if you try it circumstantial. I thought that was a dope verse by Festo and the way that he wrote that beat. Everybody else did their thing on that. Um, banging track. I like it.
Yeah, I definitely like this. Definitely like this song. It's one of my favorite songs off this album. To be real
Right,
with you, definitely one
right.
of my favorites and shit. And yeah, man, I just feel like that beat alone was very. The beat alone had like a very like fun feel to it. Like you can just definitely vibe and shit like that to it.
Yeah,
Definitely good for like the speakers and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. Give me one second. I'm trying to fix my camera right quick.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, I fixed it.
Yeah. Track 11, we got your Don't Stop, real dark melody. I like the horns on that and the beat. Um, but that melody, that shit, that's like one of my favorites on here as well. Like doom doom doom, the doo doom doom doom. I love that joint. A plus kills it. He said, some niggas serve rocks at spots and get shot or will notch the clock. But yo, I rock the spot. Dope joint. I like the little sample they use in the track as well. A plus produced it. Banging drag joint. And the other members they did their thing as well. But
Mm-hmm.
it has like a real sinister tone to it, real dark, yo. Like that's the thing with this album is like a lot of dope melodies, but they're like real dark dope melodies.
Right.
But I think it's banging. That really definitely one of my favorites on here.
Yeah, this track right here, excuse me. Excuse me. Y'all Don't Stop. Yeah, very cool track right here. Again, not really one of my favorites I would bump if I want to just jam on this album on the low to be real, but
Right.
definitely like lyrically, I definitely felt like it was definitely on point. Again, another song that has like a vintage Souls of Mischief feel to it. Yeah,
Oh
let's
yeah,
rock with it.
definitely. Um, then we get to oh yeah, it was you. That was Pep Love on that, produced by A Plus and Tajai. Pep Love. I think that's the first time I heard Pep Love on anything. Definitely killed it. The dope boom bap drums and horns, and bass, and Pep is saying he's saying bass and big nuts is what it takes to get up on the mic and enunciate, or else your fate is disappointment. But give yourself a break. Don't get disappointed. Don't get disjointed from the point that you was trying to make. Dope lines from Pep Love. Definitely think he's another dope artist from High Road, heavily slept on, and he's always been my favorite. I definitely think like on the High Road albums, he definitely was showcased. Like I remember when the High Road album came out and he had that joint on there After Dark. They were bumping that on college radio real like every week. I've heard that joint, and I was like, "Who is that?" And I didn't know it was Pep, but when they said like that's the Pep Love joint from the High Road album,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Yo, definitely slept on lyricist, man. I always liked his stuff. He definitely killed his joint. You got the DJ scratches by DJ Apollo as well on here. Dope joint.
Yeah, man. Yeah, this song right here is really the first time I really had Pep Love rap myself and shit.
Right.
Definitely did his thing on this track. Loved the way he was going in on this track, especially the lines. I don't know if you said this, but you said because these bitches running their mouths,
Right.
I guess they cause they detest us, but they
Yeah.
just rock, but just rock at them souls of mischief shows that 94 flow, leaving them froze with an infinitesimal amount of progression for MCs, but still digestible for the rest of you. Like
Yeah.
just going in on this fucking
Oh
track
yeah.
and shit like that. I might want to check out some of his shit too.
Yeah, man. Definitely a dope artist. Track 13, it's another skit, real melodic track. I like the drums on it, produced by Opio. You got the DJ scratches by DJ Apollo. And then you got like this chick, her name is Young Deb, and she's the one that's like it almost sounds like they're like in a hotel and like I guess like after a show like the group hooks up with like some groupies or whatever, and you have like young Deb asking him like, why, she's asking Tajai like why Opio cut his dreads off and where's the other members at and are we gonna smoke and drink tonight and just like some real like groupie shit, typical groupie shit that they would ask after after at the hotel and shit, and
Right.
that's what I took it as. It was just like a groupie skit or whatever, and but I like the track, like it's real melodic and I'm like the beats on these skits were like dope. They could have used that for like full songs.
Exactly.
But yeah, that was a I think it ran a little bit too long as well, like that skit. But I like the beat. Then we get into track 14 for Show for Real, another dope melodic track. I love the drums and it's real jazzy. I love the bass line for it and the guitars. Produced by Toure, and the background singing is from this female called Sora. She's on the chorus, doing like the little ad libs and all that.
Hmm.
And the guitar and the bass is by Michael Witter. He did the guitar and the bass on this track. I love A plus lines where he says perfectly calculated, exceptionally rated. People be talking, but I don't trip. I know they hate it, but I be minding my business. The most tie is my witness. We're gonna die before we get these meal tickets. Dope track. That needed a video because I really thought being that it was played on the radio like that was gonna be the second single or whatever. And for whatever reason we never got no video or whatever. But that definitely should have been the second single. And definitely one of my favorites on this album. It has like it almost sounds like it could have been on 93 Till Infinity because it has that type of real melodic jazzy vibe to it. But they definitely like a real. It's more upbeat. It's more like a upbeat, track, and I love it, man. Definitely a solid track.
Yeah, very jazzy, smooth fucking track right here and shit like that. Definitely love that. Yeah, this song definitely should have been a single as well. Like
Yeah,
a lot of some of the best songs off this album, not even the singles. It was just
yeah,
songs that should have
it's true.
definitely been singles and shit.
I definitely think so.
Yeah,
You
man.
know,
But at the same time, definitely love this shit right here. Very smooth and melodic and shit. Just something you would definitely hear from that time.
right? And at the end of the song, there's like a little like interlude or something with Opio and he's telling the group like, "Yo, rewind that." What he just say? And I don't know who he was talking about. Like what? Like I know like it was like right around the time they had the battle with Howard Junction. Was they talking about Sophia?
I was thinking about that too. It's a
Right,
possibility.
right.
Yeah, definitely
Because I
possibility.
never understood who they were talking about on like in that little interlude before the next songs. I was like, they got to be talking about Sophia or somebody, man. You know,
Right.
He's like, and they're like, he's like, rewind that. Nah, he talking shit. Rewind that. And then it goes into track 15, which is Dirty D's theme, produced by Dwayne Snoop Lee of Extra Prolific. And I love that break beat that they use. Real dope beat. Ding, 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 ding. That bass line is bananas. The horns on that, love that shit. It's called Dirty D's theme Ho or Die. And I like the way that Opio flowed on that beat. Where he said, "Souls of mischief make them all fall in succession. If you're pressing your luck, self-destruct for what? I'm vindictive, so descriptive, intriguing on the mic. We don't see things alike. Fire, fire. Definitely, Festo killed it as well. Everybody killed this track. I did this. They should have had a video for this as well, because this was like one of my favorites on this album too. But definitely a banging track. All four of them came correct on this joint. I love it.
Yeah, Dirty D's, one of my favorite tracks as well and stuff like that. Very unreal beat from Snoop, if I'm not mistaken. He made this beat, right?
Yeah,
Okay, very unreal beat from him and shit. The title "Whole or Die" actually makes me laugh too. On some good shit. I like the line when Todd said, "This ain't no flash in the pen shit. Just sell it and fade to nada, or dance hits to propel a major knot up in my billfold." Like, definitely love
yeah.
that shit right there. Like, they were all going in on that track. Yeah, Dirty
Oh yeah.
D themes, "Whole or Die," love it.
Yeah, and they sounded like they were like all in unison for that song. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's just me. They sound like they were all connected on that joint.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The last track, track 16, Times in Fear, a real melodic track. I like the drums and the bass line, and it's that's more of a, like another uplifting track. Produced by Aplus and Tajai. The lines that Festo say where he says, "You better get up on it, cause life's what do you say? Because life's a flash. It'll be here and gone just that fast." And I thought it was like a real uplifting track to close the album out. Like after all, like the dark tone of the album, this was like a real uplifting track and real positive, and I like it. That was a great way to close the album off.
Yeah, very dope way to end off the album as well too. Times ain't fair and shit.
Yeah,
Um, Not one of my favorites, like again, but at the same time, I
right.
definitely love this shit right here. I definitely felt like OPO's verse was dope, especially when he says, "I don't cut lines up, I don't have to, but if you look like a player, they harass you,"
Yeah,
and shit, which is a very very relatable line and shit because the fact that and the fact that basically where like if we dress a certain way, like it's easy to attack us and shit, but they don't know the deeper person inside of us and shit.
right.
So yeah, very dope song. Times ain't fair.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely a great way to close the album off. Me personally, I've always loved this album. Like, it's always been like a personal favorite of mine from them, and the dope boom bap production from Opio and A Plus and Toure, and like it had like a darker tone compared to 93 to Infinity. But I mean,
Mhm.
I can understand why they did it, because they had something to prove after that whole battle with Hobo Junction and niggas calling them out. And they were lyrically sharp on this album. You know what I'm saying? They were focused on this album. You know, uh, I loved the songs. Where the fuck you at and Rock It Like That, For Show For Real, Dirty D's theme. Bump shit. The whole album to me was just severely slept on. I think it was a dope sophomore album. I wish it was promoted more, but unfortunately, Jive was bullshitting. But I definitely think they could have dropped at least three singles off of here. And I'll give it a 4.5. I think it's a underappreciated sophomore album. You know what I'm saying? It's underappreciated. That's how I truly feel about that. It's not whack at all. Like it's always been like a favorite of mine. And yeah, that's just my thoughts on that album.
Um, yeah, man. I felt like it was a pretty good album too.
Right.
Um, Maybe certain tracks I would have left out personally, in my opinion, but definitely feel like it was a very certain solid album and shit.
Right.
I would give it a 4 out of 5 too. It's not the
And
best.
and, and I noticed one thing, like on the production side, they didn't have Domino this time, like
They
compared
didn't.
to like on the first album. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they didn't have Cobb and Domino and shit like that.
Right. So maybe that was like, I don't understand why not. Like, cause he's always been a dope in-house producer for them. So he was very he was missing off of this album. You know, like they went more with Toure and Opio and A+, but I still think it was like the production was solid on here. You know,
Yeah, very very solid production.
definitely. I believe this album is out of print, right?
Yeah, it is.
Most of this stuff is out of print anyway, right?
Yeah. It is out of print.
Yeah. You know, I like the back cover. That's another thing I never understood. Like when you think of Oakland and California, you think of like, warm, sunny weather. Like I never understood why like some of them like wear like winter coats. Like you see Opio with he's the only one that have a winter coat on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they wear like winter hat, like ski hats at night. I'm like, I don't like, does it get cold out there at night?
Shoot, I wouldn't probably know. I never really stayed out there like
Right.
that. But
You know? And I never understood that. But I even the CD, like the CD, like the way they did the CD with the city of Oakland and shit, the Bay. I love that shit, man. That's dope. You know? Huh?
no, that was my phone. My fault.
Um, you know what I mean? Like I think it's a dope album, man. Severely slept on. Y'all need to if y'all haven't heard this, check it out. Definitely a solid sophomore album from Souls of Mischief. You know, I definitely want to do some more high road stuff in the future. You know, I think they're severely slept on.
Yeah,
It's
man.
time that niggas put respect on them. These cats been in the game for over 20 years. They got to get their respect, man.
Yeah, man. Cause like I definitely, if you definitely do some, I gotta definitely do some Dell reviews too. Cause people have been
Yeah.
requesting me to do the first album and
Oh yeah.
certain albums from him. But I'm trying to get some Dell albums sometime this year too.
Right. Right. True. True. Yeah, I gotta get a lot of this stuff. 'Cause a lot of this stuff with like is out of print, man. Like Amazon don't got none of that shit.
Shit, Amazon, and
I got this shit. Like I said, like I like my I got this shit from my pops, but none of this shit is on Amazon. All this shit is like sold out. So it's all out of print.
yeah, man. But at the same time, it's not expensive though.
Yeah.
Cause like a lot of Jive albums, you can still get them for a decent price and shit.
Right. True. True.
Because
Definitely gonna get those.
yeah, because Jive rarely puts their hip hop albums out of print like that. Because I've seen some newer
Right.
copies of even Tribe Called Quest albums. Because they re-released all their albums and stuff.
Right. Right. True. Crazy.
But yeah, man, very dope review, man.
Yeah, man. No doubt. That definitely it's 24 years also for this album today, as well as AZ Do or Die. So check that review out. That was a great review we did last night.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
had a lot of fun.
doing we doing Big Willie style on Regis channel tomorrow night. That's gonna be fun. Ashley's gonna be there again.
Yes, yes.
Definitely looking forward to that. Dope album. I don't care what nobody say. Fuck all that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I'm actually gonna talk to you later because my mom's actually
All right,
calling me and stuff like that. Well, actually, no,
all
no,
right, cool.
never mind, never mind. It was a mistake. Never mind. We still good.
Word. I'm definitely looking forward to that Will Smith joint because that I've always liked that album. So that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, because even like in YouTube, not a lot of people view that album.
Right. Well, I mean, I think at that time, like Will was hated on. They didn't want to see him come back to music. Oh, you can't come back. You're Bel Air now. You're Hollywood. And I think like as far as like rappers to go Hollywood and then come back and do rap, I think that's the only comeback album that was good. Like Ice Cube didn't have like any great comeback albums when he you know what I'm saying? Or you know what I mean? Or anybody else or 50, you know what I mean? Like I think Roll had a successful comeback album with that.
Because Will didn't really change his style, to be real.
Right,
Yeah,
right. And he used the right producers at that time. The track masters were the hottest shit out at that time. So I think
exactly,
everything lined up in place with him.
exactly, and shit. And even though like the thing that big, I'm gonna save the rest what I have to say for tomorrow. But the thing that
Uh,
Big Willie style, it don't get the credit for was the fact that
right,
there was really some songs where he was kind of relate people to like what he be going through in his life, like just the
right.
two of us alone.
Oh
Like
yeah,
that's a classic song.
definitely, definitely.
Like he was just talking about like the child, I think from his first marriage, I think.
Right. With Sharice,
Yeah, I think that's what.
yeah, yeah, that I'll always love that album, man. I think he did his thing on there. I don't see why. people get hate on them for that.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. Definitely, but
You know?
hmm.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, man.
yeah.
But yeah, man. Are you going to see the Gemini Man movie? His new movie?
Yes, I'm definitely gonna go see that because I haven't. I think the last Will Smith movie I went to see was it might have been Men in Black 2. It was a long time ago because I haven't seen like the other ones in theaters. That when he actually was here, when he was filming I Am Legend in New York, that's the year I met him. That was 2006, and
Okay.
he was filming that movie here, in Manhattan. But I didn't go see that movie. I didn't see that till it got on DVD. But I haven't seen a Will Smith movie in the theaters in a long ass time. So no, actually I'm lying. Actually, the last movie I seen was Hancock. I went on July 4th, and I had took this female with me, and I remember it was thunderstorms that day, but it was hot. It was like 90 something degrees, and it was like we had like thunderstorms on July 4th, and I went to see that, but I didn't like it though. I didn't like it, but that's the last movie I seen it from Will Smith in the theaters. It was him and Charlize Theron.
Got you, man. I
Yeah,
think
I didn't like that. But Men in Black 2 was like the last one I seen that I actually liked from him, but I didn't care for Hancock.
I actually liked Hancock.
You liked it?
Yeah, it was.
It was. I don't know. I just feel like the homeless superhero. Like really, like
My only issue with Hancock, I felt like it kind of dropped the ball a little bit in the ending, in my opinion.
right. Yeah,
But I liked like the first like, two thirds of the movie. The ending was
yeah.
kind of bullshit though.
I didn't. I really. I wasn't paying too much on the movie. I was like, yo, like I had taken this chick on a date. And I was like trying to get in her pants really. So I didn't care what that. She wanted to see the movie. I'm like, I didn't care about seeing the movie, but I'm like, it's Will Smith. How bad could it be? But I wasn't really focused on the movie like that. You know what I'm saying? But I remember like and the weather was bad. It was like thunderstorms on July 4th. That canceled a lot of people's like cookouts and stuff for that day. So I was like, well, I'm not going to nobody's cookout. So the next best thing was the movies, and I ended up going in the rain and all that. And I just didn't have like a good time. But I remember some parts of the movie, but it wasn't like a great movie to me.
Damn. Sure.
Oh man! And I had on and I had on like I remember like I went shopping and I had on like new threads and I didn't even realize it was gonna. I'm like, how come nobody didn't tell me it was gonna thunderstorm that day? You know what I'm saying? I had on like some new Jordans and everything. I'm like, oh man, just a bad day, yo. Like you never want it like for July 4th. You don't want it to be rained out for anything.
Right.
It was just bad.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I feel
Yeah,
you.
but I ended up hooking up with the chick, so it wasn't all bad. It wasn't all bad
Yeah, that's all that matters at the end of the
for
day.
real. You know what I mean? But I was like, never again. I'm like on July 4th. I gotta check the weather from now on because I don't want to get rained out for anything.
Facts, facts. But there be sometimes like in North Carolina, they don't even be saying it's raining sometimes. The raindrop just comes out of nowhere, just like, oh, you
Yeah,
got it.
you know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, like especially in the summertime, like the weather will be you think it's gonna be like sunny for the whole day and then we get these thunderstorms out of nowhere, you
Right.
know? So it's just weird like that, man. But I from now on, like, ever since then I just check the weather on July 4th, if I got anything that I'm supposed to go to, just make sure that it ain't raining or anything like that.
Yeah, just always be prepared and anything.
Yeah,
Always be prepared.
for real.
Shoot.
you know.
But yeah,
Word.
I'm gonna call tonight because I gotta actually work in
Yeah.
the morning and stuff.
All right.
All right,
We done here. Definitely had to put some respect on the Hyrule crew and Souls of Mischief. Thanks, Reg, as always, for being on.
no
I
doubt.
appreciate it. Everybody that's liking it, I appreciate it. We see y'all tomorrow when we be on Reg's channel with Ashley again. We're doing Big Willie style. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun.
Very fun.
So,
I can't wait.
oh yeah. See you then, man.
Peace. Have a good night, everybody. Peace.
Peace. Later.
Later.